Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I went to the card show in Denver today. It was great. Usually the card show in Denver, they do it once a quarter. It usually takes up about half of the convention area of this large convention hotel. Today it took up, I think, the whole thing. It was much bigger than normal, so it was good. A lot of people there. It was super busy, so that was great to see. Not a ton of vintage. I think that there was a higher percentage of vintage the last couple times, but still pretty good. There's a lot of Pokemon and modern hockey and basketball there, but there were some vintage dealers, and that was pretty cool. I picked up a couple things, and I'll show those to you guys here momentarily. But one of the topics of conversation I thought was interesting, I had with a few of the vendors were around PSA and grading standards and the changes in the grading standards. And a couple of guys showed me some cards that we looked at under their loops, and they basically looked perfect, and they were getting like fives and sixes on them. So it seems it's not just some of us on YouTube that are seeing this. It seems like it's across all aspects. We're seeing the more inconsistent grading standards coming out of PSA. Even some of the guys that one of the guys I talked to said that he sends thousands of cards a month to PSA, and he still said he's getting pretty bad grades on average, much lower than he expected. Some of the nicer ungraded cards that he purchases, he'll sometimes purchase with the assumption of a certain grade, and he said even then he's getting 2 to 3 grades less than what he thought would be a conservative grade. So interesting. Thought that was an interesting topic to discuss with these guys, and it's sad to hear that it's more rampant than I thought. But the upside is, at least their inconsistencies are consistent. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and take a look at some of these cards, and hope you guys like them. All right, guys. So here are the cards I picked up today at the Denver Card Show. First, I picked up a card for my wife's Mickey Mantle collection, 1958 Topps in a PSA 4. This is a really nice 4. The centering's not perfect on it, but it's pretty good for a 58. It's got great corners. For a 4 as well, the registration is great on it, and the back looks really good. It's very, very centered. So pick that up for her. I figure since she's so supportive of my collecting and my channel, I wanted to hook her up with something cool from the show, so got that for her. Next card, I picked up this 1954 Bowman Ted Williams in an SGC4. So this card is not on my list of cards to buy at this time, but it's a great example of my focused, unfocused collecting strategy that I talked about in an earlier video. This is a great looking card. I've always wanted it for my collection. Just wasn't currently on the list, but now I could check it off and doesn't have to go on the list later. But yeah, it's a really nice looking SGC4. A little bit of history about this card. In 1954, Topps finally landed an exclusive contract with Ted Williams. So in the 54, he had cards 1 and 250, so the first and last card of the 54 Topps set. Since Bowman didn't have rights to his likeness, they actually had to stop printing this thing, and they turned card number 66, which this is card 66. They stopped printing it with Ted Williams' picture on it and started printing it with Jimmy Piersall's from the Red Sox. So basically, partway through the card run in 54, Bowman had 2 Jimmy Piersall's and no more Ted Williams. I'm just super excited to get this rarity of the all-time greatest hitter in the collection. And then my big pickup from the show was this 1939 play ball Joe DiMaggio in a PSA 6. This is a card that, again, wasn't on my immediate list, but I've always loved this card. I think it's the best looking Joe D card, in my opinion. I think it's just such an amazing picture of the 24-year-old Yankee Clipper. It looks really good front and back, nice and clean. The centering's slightly off on the front, but it's got super sharp corners. It's got great registration. This is a really nice looking 6. I'm just super thrilled to have this one in the collection as well. So there you have it, guys. The 3 cards I picked up at the Denver Card Show. None of them were on my list. All 3 of them I think are pretty awesome cards, and I'm super pumped to have them in the collection. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Hope you like those pickups. I'm super, super pumped to get some of these cards in the collection. Like I mentioned, none of these cards are actually on my list, but I am a consistent, inconsistent collector. I've got my list. I try to go after my list. None of the stuff on my list that I need, I think, is reasonable right now. A lot of the cards I'm looking at, like a T206 Cobb portrait, 51 Bowman Mantle, the E93 or E95 Honus Wagner, 52 Tops Eddie Matthews. These cards are all just kind of going through the roof right now still, and I think that I still think that they're potentially overpriced where they probably will be within the next year. So instead of picking those up, I picked up these, and I'm really happy with these. They don't complete any of the or help complete any of the sets I'm trying to collect, but I thought they were awesome cards, and that's why we collect, right? We'd like to buy stuff that we enjoy. So thanks again for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Talk to you guys soon.